DuckTales 2. Look, I've even got my Uncle Scrooge shirt on. Got to wear the shirt if I'm going to play a DuckTales game. Alright. Well, just so you're aware, this is Niagara Falls. To get across, you'll have to jump from log to log. Legend says the fabled crystal flower that blooms only once every 1,000 years is on the far side of the falls. Be careful. Flint-Heart Glumgold is after the crystal too. Do you want to go there, Uncle Scrooge? Yes. Just so you're aware, I already played this. Yeah, so I'm having some rough luck with games freezing on me because I basically did all of the levels and I made it to the ship, which was the last level. Or I don't know if there's something else after that. I think that you replay a level kind of like in the first game. And I didn't do that. It was my first pass of the ship, but I literally did everything. Watch your step, Uncle Scrooge. Gyro has created some rubber rafts for you. To move them, hit the side wall with a golf swing. It was my first pass on the ship. And I want to say that there is a second pass, sort of like Transylvania from the first game, that you go back and then that's where you fight the final boss. If I'm not terribly mistaken on that one. So yeah, I've done all this already once today. Uncle Scrooge, Gyro is trapped in a landslide. You've got to help him out. Fine. Keeps getting stuck in these landslides. I don't know, man. But that's okay, because this is a good game. I like all these Capcom Disney games. They're very, very good. Thanks, Uncle Scrooge. Here, take this iron adapter. You can use it on things that wouldn't break with the normal pogo jump. Of course, I love DuckTales. I love the first game. Played that all the time as a kid. I did not play this one as a kid. I didn't play this one until earlier today. Unfortunately, this is a very expensive game. I guess it's one of those things where you would think that it would be like the early games maybe that are the more expensive ones because they're older and older stuff tends to be more expensive. But in this case, I think with the NES, a lot of the more expensive games are just games that maybe came out after the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis and people had moved on and therefore there weren't as many of these out in the wild. Oh, hang on. I did that wrong. Because I know that this was a later one. Obviously, it's the second one in the game. The second one in the series. I did that wrong again. The first one... I don't know when the first one came out. But I guess it was early enough in the lifespan that there's a lot of copies of the original DuckTales around where it's not very expensive. But I picked this up at the Game On Expo in Phoenix earlier this year. There was a couple of copies there that we saw, and they were all about the same range. This one was a little bit overpriced, funny enough, and I wasn't going to get it. I just asked the guy about it because the price wasn't visible. And I was like, well, I'm curious what he's selling it for. And I had no intention because I knew it was an expensive game. And I think it was the end of the second day that we were talking to him. I don't know if he was just like eager to move stock or whatever, but he told me the price and I'm like, no, it's okay. I appreciate it. I was just curious, you know. And he was just like, hey, oh, wait, I mean, what are you thinking? And I'm like, well, you know, I was just asking, and nothing in particular. He's like, well, just name a price, you know, and I'm like, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just curious. I was asking because we weren't in the ballpark, you know, and the guy literally just talks himself down. I wasn't even trying to talk him down. I was just asking about the game. I was curious what he was charging for it. The landslide has released a firecracker. All you need to do to get by is pogo jump on it 5 times, Uncle Scrooge. But it's just one of those funny stories, and my friend was there, and he was having a pretty good laugh about it. And I had a pretty good laugh about it afterwards, too. But hey, I got DuckTales. DuckTales 2, which is cool. Oh, I missed that. I was thinking too much about that encounter again to actually think about what I was doing. Ah. No! See, I don't think that I died to this guy the first time I came through. This was one of the easier ones, I felt like. There was one boss, like this rock monster boss. Man, he got me several times. I'm curious how I'll do this time around. Kind of figured it out how to defeat him, but he was tough. My timing is off with this guy, unfortunately. There we go. Alright, so in this game you get the store in between the levels where you can go out and buy stuff. You spend Uncle Scrooge's money, which is very un-Uncle Scrooge-like. But I'm going to do it just to be safe. So this will give me an extra continue. Yeah. And then, so I never figured out exactly what the cake does because I didn't use it, but I think what happens is if you lose all your health, it gives you your health back again. That's my guess, at least, as to what it does. So it's not like an extra life, it's just a health refill. Alright, let's go. Was this, no, this was the wizard. Wow, this ancient castle is ruled by an evil sorcerer who guards a secret treasure known as the Lamp of Eternity. Do you want to go there, Uncle Scrooge? And now this boss was very easy too, I thought. I beat him on the first try. Let's see if that holds up again. Hang on. In true Uncle Scrooge fashion, I need to get all of the treasure that I can. I don't want to disappoint him. Even though I am spending the money in the store, which would probably disappoint him. Yeah. I may need that enemy to come back. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Aha, treasure. Treasure. So I think you can actually pogo, or not pogo, golf swing these things in the air. I did it before. I thought that I did it before. Oh, but I can't break those. Never mind. Okay. I can't break that. Okay, so I'm doing the same order that I did the first time around, but I realize now there's probably a better order that I should have done. Because there's upgrades that you get, and I don't know if I got all the upgrades, but I know that there are some that let you do different things, like the one Gyro gave me before, where it's, I guess you can pogo things that you couldn't pogo before. Hang on. Jump in the hole, Froggy. There we go. Froggy went according he did right, So what do you think about video games as an investment? I'm not big on the whole video games as an I'm not big on the whole video games as an investment type of thing. I just like to buy games that I want to play. But then you have games like this, which are very, very expensive games. And you wonder, is it just a dumb thing to buy something so expensive? Because obviously you can play these on the EverDrive. And I've got EverDrives for all of the old consoles. I'm just the type of person that I like to have the physical copy of a game if I'm going to play it. And I know that's probably a little bit strange because what does it matter? I don't know. I'm very big on the whole idea of video game preservation and having working copies of physical games. And I also see the EverDrive being a way to preserve video gaming. Because if I have a cartridge, if DuckTales 2 dies on me like it did earlier, where it just decided to crap out on me for whatever reason, then I have a way that I could play it again. Because I can just put the ROM on the EverDrive and play it. So it's nice to have that level of backup. But at the same time, if I've got the physical copy, I just want to play the physical copy. That's what's in here, is the physical copy, not the EverDrive version. And I imagine there's going to come a day where all of these games are going to be kind of worthless in a lot of ways. Right now, I imagine video games are near the peak, or at least that's the way I see it. Right now is peak video game cost, and that's not the right way to put that. For my generation, I think video games are going to continue to increase in value for my generation, and then as people like me get older and start selling these collections, then there's going to be a huge tanking in the value. Because I don't feel like future generations are going to care about video games nearly as much as, you know, Gen X and millennials. Like, I think that we're the final generation who's going to care about DuckTales 2. It's kind of the way that I look at it. I'm a millennial. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think that I saw this before. Oh, wait a minute. Should I try this? This seems dangerous. I'm not going to try that. I don't have any lives to spare. If I had lives, I might give that a shot. Yeah. Let's see what we got here. So all that to say, I don't really see video games as an investment because I feel like by the time I'm old and in the idea of I'm trying to downsize and clear out the house and retire and live off of what I have and therefore selling video games, I think that's going to be everybody else at the same time. And therefore, the game prices and values are going to tank, essentially. Could be wrong. But I just don't see a lot of stuff that I cared about and my generation cared about being valuable in the long run. You see all the stuff with the Pokemon cards. And people are going crazy. The scalpers love to go get to, you know, they'll beat out the kids and buy up all these cases and then rush home and list it on eBay for 3 times the cost. And I feel like by doing that, you're essentially preventing any kids from developing a relationship with Pokemon cards because they can't play the game because they're priced out of it. It is said that a sanctuary exists deep within the waters offshore. There, a mysterious stone plate with great magical powers can be found. Do you want to go there, Uncle Scrooge? Legend has it, lads, that there was once a city here that sank deep into the sea. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe NES games are going to be seen as some big antiquity one day, and the values are just going to keep climbing and climbing and be worth even more money. So DuckTales 2 will be even more expensive one day. I don't know. It just seems a little bit unlikely. And I was talking about the Pokemon cards and how adults buy them all up and don't let the kids. The value comes from childhood, right? I played these games or games like this on the NES when I was a kid, and that's what caused me to develop a relationship with them. Take this power adapter, Uncle Scrooge. This will help you pull things that you couldn't before. And if people can't form those relationships and the memories as a kid, then they're not going to really care about it once they're an adult. And I feel like gaming in a lot of ways is changing shape a lot compared to what it was when I grew up. Diamond? Oh. I've even saw articles about this whole idea that kids don't identify as gamers anymore, or young people don't consider themselves to be gamers anymore. Instead, they pick a game and that's kind of all they play. All they play is Fortnite or Minecraft or something along those lines. And they don't really play other games, which is very, very interesting, I guess. It's an interesting way of looking at it. And I mean, I kind of get that because I play Destiny 2, right? And I played Destiny 1. And it's kind of a game that doesn't end until now. I mean, Destiny 2 is in a very bad spot right now. So it may be ending soon. But the whole idea is that you just keep playing it and they add new content. Something is written on the floor. Sink a stone into the sea and the city will appear. A stone? Even if we had one, where would we sink it? So there's some kind of puzzle here. I didn't figure this out the first time either. I don't know exactly what is being talked about with a stone. So I think I'm disappointing Uncle Scrooge right now. Let's try that again. I think I screwed that up. Now let's see. Can I swear that there's a way that you can golf swing in the air, because I've done it before. Hang on. Let me try that again. This is how it went before. Right? Oh, it's like that. Okay. And while I do love Destiny 2, and I love all the time that I spent with Destiny 1, Destiny 2, and I've been watching Asdacross. He's been playing through Destiny 1 again on stream, and I've just had that in the background while I do different things. And it's one of those things where I feel nostalgia looking at Destiny 1 now. A very, very positive nostalgia for that game. So I'm not criticizing anybody who thinks that way, because I'd say I think the same way to a degree. I consider myself a gamer, a very generalized gamer, where I play a lot of different games, both modern and classics like DuckTales 2. This is Stone Guy. I don't like this guy. This was a hard fight. I thought this fight was hard. Let's see how I do this time. I may have to try to remember where I left off my thought after I fight this, because I don't think I can actually think and fight this guy at the same time. He likes to combo sometimes. There we go. First try. Nice. So that went a lot smoother, fortunately. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're gonna buy more special energy. It should max me out, right? And then we'll get an extra life. So I didn't buy the safe before. What I'm assuming the safe does is if you use Launchpad to leave a level, then you keep whatever you get in the level. You know what? Let me just buy this. I don't know. Lets you save all the money you collected in a level. That ought to make you happy, Uncle Scrooge. Sure. I had some extra cash. I don't have the manual for this, so I can't look up what it is. I mean, I guess I could use the internet, but it's alright. It's fine. You have to figure out the secret of the pyramid to get the treasure of the Nile. There is an ancient tale told of a treasure called King Khufu's knife. No one has ever laid eyes on it. Do you want to go there, Uncle Scrooge? I don't know. I don't remember where I was at when I was talking before I got into that boss fight. Is there anything up here? Nope. Just general rambling, I guess, about the whole idea of the value of things now. How's it going, Uncle Scrooge? There sure are a lot of traps here. Better be careful. Ah, see? I did that in the air. Maybe it's because I'm on the quicksand and kind of do things a little bit differently. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can do it. I don't remember. Oh wait, I do remember. Okay, so I can't get that. Yeah, yep. So there's still something else I need to be able to either move those or break them. I don't know. I think there's an upgrade somewhere that I failed to get. So what do you think? If you're watching this, what do you think about the value of stuff that was treasured from when we were children, or I guess you may be younger than me, so, or you may be older, I don't know, and doesn't necessarily translate exactly the same as to what I'm saying. But do you think things are going to get more valuable or less valuable as time goes on? You want to go home, Uncle Scrooge? No, I do not. Oh, I was talking about like modern video games and Destiny 2 and all this live service stuff. Kind of going back into what I was saying earlier about instead of using the EverDrive, I'll buy physical copies of the game. And I feel kind of dumb sometimes because I also do the same thing with like modern console games. That's a trap, I remember that. So like PlayStation 5 or Xbox One or Switch to a degree. I think Switch to a lesser degree than the other two. I have a lot of Switch games and I feel like those are going to last longer. The point I'm making is that you buy a PlayStation 5 game and what happens is there's like a day one update and the game is basically unplayable unless you download the day one update. Meaning that whenever the PlayStation servers are offline, if you don't already have the console and you don't have the game loaded in, then you kind of can't play it, even if you've got the physical version, because you don't have the update that fixes all the issues that they shipped whenever they released the game. So I talking about like modern games, I'll tell you a recent game. I mentioned Elden Ring, and I really loved Elden Ring, which is for some reason an online game. I mean, I get that there's PvP stuff that you can do in that game, but there's a lot of PvE, so I don't really get the whole always online type of thing. There's something written on this wall. The one who sees the light of the sun will find the way. This must be how to get the treasure. And you start seeing these games that kind of require you to have internet access for them to work properly. Elden Ring being one of excuse me. Now, Elden Ring, you may be able to play it offline. I don't know. I know that whenever you sign in, or whenever you start it up, it signs in. But another game that I really, really like from recent years, like I love Stellar Blade. That is a fantastic game. And I could see myself playing that again. There's one achievement that I haven't gotten on that game in order to platinum it. So I will get that achievement eventually, which ironically is the achievement for doing the least amount of stuff. So instead of doing all the side quests, you have to skip all the side quests. I've played the game multiple times, but both times I have done all the side quests because I really like the game. So I'm going to have to do a playthrough where I don't complete everything. And something like that really makes me sad to think about, because I love that game so much. I could absolutely see myself playing that game again one day. And there's a time when I may not be able to play it, even though I've got the physical copy of it, because they've released good quality of life updates. So I bought it very early on. And I remember one of the things about it that I would have criticized it for was that the New Game Plus experience wasn't very good. And by that I mean, I enjoyed finding all the collectibles, but I didn't do it the first time that I played the game. And whenever I assumed that when I beat the game, I would be able to go back and just find the collectibles, and it would save everything that I had already collected. And it didn't. It did not. So the first version of the game, or the version that was on day one available after an update, did not save your collectible progress. So you kind of started over if you started a New Game Plus. There were certain things that carried over, but not the collectibles. But I went back and played it again, maybe 6 months after, and they had updated the New Game Plus experience to where it now carried over your collectibles. So you could theoretically go back through and get everything, basically. So I went through and played the game a second time after that. But that's not what's on the disc that I own. The better experience is not on the disc. Therefore, if I try to play it again later on, I would be playing a worse version of the game. Oh, and then there's the treasure map. So I bought the treasure map before, and I don't really know exactly what this does. Look, it's a piece of the map. I apparently used my save somehow. Here, let's do some extra energy. Or excuse me, extra life. I get another one just to play it completely safe. Hopefully the game doesn't crash on me again. We've got 2 pieces of the map, Uncle Scrooge. Alright, now, so the ship, this is where I was at before. I went to the ship, and then I was in the middle of the ship. A cargo ship is missing in the Bermuda Triangle. This may be the work of pirates. The ship was carrying the famed jewel, the mermaid's teardrop. Do you want to go there, Uncle Scrooge? Yes. We're stuck, Uncle Scrooge. We'll never get by the mast. Look at it. And that was convenient. Wow, that was great. Let's go. All that rambling to kind of pick back where I was at. First off, Stellar Blade, fantastic, amazing game. Highly recommend anybody play it. As far as the whole point of why I was getting into that is that you can't really, everything is a service now. Everything you gotta sort of pay for it. It's all tied to the internet and being online, or else it's just not quite the same. Let's see. I think that there's something over here. I gotta bounce off of this guy. And that's kind of sad. I mean, I don't think that that's anything drastic that people weren't expecting to hear. That there's too many services and you can't own anything. There's the whole saying, you will own nothing and be happy. Which is not ideal, in my opinion. I like owning things. I like owning DuckTales too. I'd love to own Stellar Blade. And I've got a physical copy, but one day it will not be the same game that I played, you know, a year ago or whatever. Yeah. Oh, I'm dumb. I was trying to bounce off the rat. I've literally got a platform right here. Yeah, extra life. And kids are growing up into this world where you don't own anything. Everything's a service. So are they going to have any type of an attachment to any of the things like people like my generation grew up with? And there's the whole thing I was talking about with the Pokemon cards, right? Kids can't get into Pokemon because you got people that are adults that are just buying all the cards and not letting the kids actually enjoy the game. And I'm not saying that to criticize people who are adults who buy the cards. I mean, even if you collect the cards, not a big deal. I'm talking about the people specifically who fight each other in Costco to get to the cards before anybody else, and then they rush home and put them all on eBay. Those types of people don't really care about the cards, and those are the same type of people who like video games, right? All they care about is making money off of everything. And in turn, they're making the hobby worse in a lot of ways. And that's why people criticize resellers, I feel like. I don't have a problem with resellers who are adding value. Hi, Uncle Scrooge. Take this hammer adapter. You can use it to break the things that a golf swing normally wouldn't. Okay, so this is what I needed earlier, and I didn't get this. So let me clarify what I mean. I don't have a problem with people reselling a game or people reselling cards. You know, I collect comic books, so people who resell comic books, that's not really the big issue. The issue is just the people who are kind of scummy about it, or the people who don't really care about the medium. They just do it purely for the sake of the money. And you can always encounter these people, especially like at these conventions. You go to these conventions, or eBay's another good one where you encounter people that clearly did not take care of the thing that they had. So maybe they're selling a game. I bought games off of eBay before and they look fine in the picture, and you get it home and it's like, it's nasty. And you're like, you couldn't have just wiped it off before you shipped it? I'm not even asking you to get into every little nook and cranny and every little crevice to clean the thing, but I mean, it's gross, man. You couldn't just make it not gross? But that's what resellers do. Or some of them do. They just find the game and they found it at a flea market or a yard sale where somebody was just cleaning out the attic. And they pay $5 for it, and they're going to go list it for $50. they're not even going to bother to clean it. Uncle Scrooge, it's terrible. Webby's been kidnapped. You have to rescue her. If you want Webby back, Scrooge, meet me at my ship. Oh yes, be sure to bring your treasures. Oh, that was a horrible Flint Heart Gold impression. I know. Not sure exactly. Okay, so I don't go down there. Anyway, that's my whole rambling about the whole situation, I guess. I don't know why I went off on that tangent. I've been waiting for you, Scrooge. I'll be taking those treasures now. I don't know what that accent is. Thank you so much for the treasures. Now let me show you something in return. It's the T-1000. I guess I went on that big tangent because of expensive games like DuckTales 2, right? Because I like having the physical copy. Incredible! The D-1000 was defeated, but I'll have the last laugh. I'll sink this ship and all of the treasures on board. Webby! The treasures! They all sink into the sea. Oh, that's no problem. Uncle Scrooge will go down there and get it. It's too bad we lost all the treasures, but at least we've got each other. He'll get the treasures. That's no big deal. It goes down and get it. I suppose true friendship is all you really need for happiness. This is not Uncle Scrooge talking. Don't worry, Uncle Scrooge. Your treasure's safe. Of course. Because he's going to go down there and get it. Hey, look, our treasure. It is safe. Is this launch pad? But what on earth was the secret treasure of McDuck? Oh, that was the treasure map, I guess. I didn't figure that out. So I guess there's another ending if you figure out all the treasure map stuff. Yeah, I bought one piece. But I wonder if there's a piece hidden in all the levels, and I didn't find it any other piece. I just found the one that you could buy. Okay. Well, I guess that's something for another day. I could replay the game and figure that out. What is it? Oh, this was a short playthrough too. Well, to be fair, I literally just played through the entire game. I did everything except for the final ship level. Oh, wait, there is an ending. I thought that was the ending. Huh. Total money. $1.5 million. Imagine that. 39 minutes and you get $1.5 million. Imagine that. I would do that. I would spend 39 minutes working for $1.5 million. Think of all the video games you could buy with that. That's what it's all about. I live... All my working is just to fund this hobby at this point. I don't know. I'm just going on a big rambling tangent all about investing in video games and Pokemon cards and will they be worth any money one day? You know what? It's worth it to me because I enjoy playing these games and I have DuckTales 2 marked off the list. DuckTales 2, fantastic game. I guess I would say that I like the first game more, but there's probably a nostalgia factor to that because I didn't grow up with this game. And the first game is just a classic. But this is a really good game. I enjoyed this. And very short. You know? It was like Little Mermaid. I went through that one pretty quick too, but this was 2 tries to be fair. Anyway, that's it.